I'm Christopher John Farley, a senior editor at the Wall Street Journal. Our guest today is Alejandro González Iñárritu, the director of the new film, The Revenant. Thanks a lot for coming to the Wall Street Journal.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, The Revenant is actually based on a true story, inspired by true events. What was real in the film, and what did you sort of make up for sort of fictional purposes?
Well, you know, I think what is real is what happened to Hugh Glass. That's the only fact that really is known about him. Nothing before, nothing after that is really factual. You know, it's a character that basically was building a legend. But the fact that he was attacked by a bear and he was abandoned, and then he has to survive and go more than 200 miles to find himself in Fort Kiowa, and to be alive was almost a miracle, and was something that was spread in that time. But in the middle of this country in 1823, there was no historian, so nothing is very well known. So there's a great canvas for anybody to, in a way, to make Hugh Glass the way you imagine he was.
And nature played a role in making this film as well. I mean, there's been lots of stories about the extreme weather conditions you faced in making this movie. Actors and producers and staffers of the movie sort of pushed to the edge. Was there a scene in this film that was the most difficult, the most challenging for you to sort of bring off?
You know, I will say that we were at the mercy of nature, and the film happens 90% in exterior locations, and it took me 5 years to really find every location. It's a road movie. We have hundreds of locations that characteristic physically were really tough to find, with big distance between. And the right light to be found, the right fauna, nature, and the geographic that has to match the narrative, and to find the right locations that logistically and technically will be useful in the right weather conditions. So all of that was very difficult to solve. Every scene, in a way, when you are shooting with 12 millimeters lenses, that is wide scope, in the camera just become nothing and everything is wide and big. So we were seeing everything, and the crew was running around the camera to hide. and so that decision of making the film this way, to make the audiences being impacted by the physical reality of these men at that time, that was the most challenging thing in every scene, you know.
And of course, a lot of people read about the fact that Leonardo DiCaprio in one scene actually had to eat raw bison liver. Are there any other scenes where you thought, maybe I pushed my actors too far? Do you regret anything you did to make this film?
No, because we have buffalo tacos the next morning. It was great. No, I think that honestly, that decision was Leo. I have both choices. I have a fake liver there, and he thought, you know, I don't know if it will look too good. I want to try it. And obviously, you know, Arthur Red Cloud, which is the guy who played the Pawnee Indian that he basically saved him and feed him, and he's eating buffalo. He was actually eating raw meat because that's the way he liked it and he used it. So Leo felt like why I should not do it in order to respect the truth of the scene, and he decided to do that. And it was the great decision. And I said, "Are you sure?" "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do it." And Leo is like that. He pushed himself to really looking for the truth of the moment, that we were all invested in that. And he tried it, and his reaction is in camera, actually, you know.
I'm also fascinated by the fact that light was so important to you. And there's been a lot written about the fact you only shot at certain times of the day, about an hour or so, right?
Yeah.
Because you wanted to capture a certain kind of light, and the way that affected the production, because you couldn't work the other hours of the day other than to rehearse and do other kind of production things. Why was light so important to you for this film?
We found that obviously when you shoot nature in the wrong hour, it looked like shit. It looked like the park, you know what I mean? Even when you are in great landscape, by some reason everything just gets flat. In the right light, as every good painter knew in the Renaissance, or Turner, when you are in the right time, in the right moment, when you have the sunset light, that glowing light, suddenly everything goes in ecstasy, and everything just speaks is when God speaks, and every element just speak by itself and reveal a nature that you never see. So then everything, all the shadows, all the complexity, all the colors are revealed, and then is when suddenly it's the impact got a kind of another layer that I think this film offered by doing that. That's one reason. And the other reason was that technically it was impossible for us to shoot it even earlier, because by the time that we arrived and we were ready and rehearsed these little moments that we rehearsed for months with incredible precision. And I want this to be a sonic painting. Every frame is designed. Nothing was found. So, I mean, nothing was improvised. Every frame was designed in advance. And it took us so long to do that. And we have few hours to do it. And in winter, at 3 o'clock, it's dark. So there was no other way, you know.
Well, great. Thanks a lot for coming to the Wall Street Journal. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.